Welcome to Her Anime Universe. I'm your host Carla, and if you love anime, manga, and the stories that inspire and entertain us, you're in the right place. Here we get into epic adventures, heartfelt romances, unforgettable characters, and even the lessons we can take from them. So whether you're here for nostalgia, new recommendations, or just a good time geeking out, join me, a longtime fangirl, as we explore the universe of all things anime, manga, and even the occasional K drama. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe, and if you enjoy the show, leave a review. It helps more anime lovers find the podcast and keeps the conversations going. Hey everyone, welcome back to Her Anime Universe. I'm your host, Carla, and today I'm taking you back to where my anime journey truly began. In this episode, I'll share the story of how two classics sparked my love for anime and why they hold such a special place in my heart. So technically, my first exposure to anime were shows like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, like I said in the previous episode, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! These were the ones I'd catch on TV, right? They were super fun to watch as a kid. Not sure if you remember, but these would come out on Kids WB or even Toonami, and I honestly felt a little sad when Toonami finally stopped showing on TV. And then later, Adult Swim, and I think that was recent actually, like something that happened recently. But the shows that made me fall head over heels for anime came a little later, thanks to a good friend of mine, Janina. It was sometime around 8th grade, and Janina, who was also a big anime fan, introduced me to these two shows, Sailor Moon, most of us know this, like for real, and Marmalade Boy. And I remember specifically when we were in a bus going on a field trip to visit a university at the time. We were sitting somewhere in the middle of the bus, and she was telling me about these shows that she liked, that she would watch, and I said that I was, kind of curious about it. So that was like the door opening to be given my first real intro to what this thing anime or what it was at the time. She even went that extra mile to make sure I could watch them. Her brother burned DVDs for me, especially because of me and my family were moving out of state to Austin. So before we moved here to Austin, they gave me my first DVDs. And after I got here, she mailed me more episodes, which was super cool because I needed it. Can you imagine like how special that was? It felt like a lifeline during a time when I was feeling so disconnected, so alone, so new, right? And just quiet. So let's get into these first two that I said. Sailor Moon, I got into VHS form actually. And something I learned from Sailor Moon was that it's all about friendship, bravery, girl power, right? So, empowerment. It taught me to value the relationships in my life and to stand up for what's right. Marmalade Boy was different. It was more about love, family, and all the messy, complicated things and feelings that come with growing up and being a teenager. I had to remember some of these characters' names because it's been so long since I've watched Marmalade Boy. And so, if you know a place where I can find Marmalade Boy and figure out a way for me to watch it again, let me know. I would appreciate it. But both of these shows really resonated with me in ways I didn't fully understand at the time, but looking back, they were exactly what I needed. At some point, I want to dive deeper into what Marmalade Boy was all about, but basically, these teenagers fell in love after their parents all moved in together because the parents had fallen in love with the opposite partner. Oh my god, saying this out loud just sounds so off from a regular family. But that's anime for you, right? And Sailor Moon fell in love while she was in middle school with this boy who I think was in college. Again, a little off saying it out loud, but to be honest, in the anime world, this kind of show, or both of these actually, are all about love. And so, as I reflect on how I even fell in love with this, these two shows just set this foundation for my journey in anime, opening this door to a world of stories and characters that have continued to inspire me. They also remind me of the kindness and connection and friendship I shared with Janina, even from miles away. Eventually, we grew up, right? And there's always like distance that gets created from being into different states, but it's something that I'm always going to be grateful for her for this first intro. And then in high school, I had a few friends who I connected with because of this, because of anime. It was a way for me to even make friends, right? So I remember being during lunchtime going into the computer room, and our teacher would allow us to watch anime at the time. So honestly, to all the people that I connected with because of anime, thank you. So that's a little intro on how I even started got into this world, how I started to fall in love with it, but it was basically my escape. Right? I keep saying it was my escape, but I just love it. And again, there's so much lesson, right? Like I said, Marmalade Boy and Sailor Moon are about love, about friendship, about family. So that's a little trip down memory lane. So thanks for tuning in to this trip with me. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about how my anime journey began. Maybe you've never heard of Marmalade Boy and now you have, so maybe go check it out. In the next episode, I'm going to get into one of my all time favorite series, why it still resonates with me today, and the life lessons it has offered me, or something that I can get from it. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own anime beginnings with me. Until next time, that's it for today's episode of Her Anime Universe. Thanks for hanging out with me and geeking out over all things anime and manga. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a review. It really helps this podcast grow. Let's keep the conversation going over on Instagram at Her Anime Universe or even on my other page at Coach Carlita. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep being unapologetically you.